Guys, I'm here with Angus Mckenzie. The Biggie Smalls to the Tupacs. the higher class of the lower class colors.
No, we just on the same level, my friend.
Check here. The friend to Fadil Adams.
I'm going to castrate him. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to castrate Fadil
Talking
Adams.
about that, tell me, how did you feel when Fadil Adams said you had to be castrated and that your dad sucked apart his dick?
I always maintain silly people say silly things.
Fadil, what is up? Angus, tell me, why do you think some colored people call you a salad, just like Antipet?
Look, I think, it's a sick culture that some of us have. If we are achieving things and we are making a difference in people's lives and you just continue to be a loser, you can't pull the next brother down. We must help each other all. So what I do notice, all those people that call me a sellout are actually losers themselves.
Okay, any names?
No, let's not call it.
Okay.
I'm a politician, my friend. I can't
Oh, you're a
mention
politician?
names.
I thought you worked for the
I'm
DA.
alleged to have said that,
Oh, okay, let's, yeah. And what happened with a big pot and a spoon?
Look, at the end of the day, I will never expect others to eat things I won't eat, my friend.
COVID-19. and the ride along, you and JP and the law enforcement?
Look, you know what?
Play animal
Another situation of silly people doing silly things. If those people were actually doing something about crime, then it's understandable. But I'm out on the forefront. I'm fighting crime. I'll fight them. I don't sit behind a keyboard and be a keyboard activist. I don't just sit on the roof and make videos.
Like videos?
You know what I mean? I actually get out there and do the job.
We're working here on top.
Yeah, get the cat in my duck.
Talk about racism within the DA. Alan Zille, what do you have to say about that?
Look, here's the reality of Alan Zille. That woman is a renowned freedom fighter. She's done more for this country than what most of these liberation movement individuals have done. No, I have no look. Alan Zille's gone maybe a little bit too far for certain people's likings on Twitter, but it doesn't take away who the woman is. And I think you'll agree that woman has done so much, not just for the city, for this province, but for this country. The fact that her skin color is not dark doesn't mean she hasn't made a difference in all our lives.
So it's about the color of your skin.
I just hate the fact that people will use her to play their dirty game of politics.
Let's talk about color of your skin, specifically with colors, black people, Indian people, white people in this country, right?
Yeah.
So now we're talking about colored people always in between, black people on top, and it looks like white people are still on top, but to a certain extent. What do you have to say about that?
No, my friend, I think the people that perpetuate that sort of story are people that love to class themselves as a specific type of person. I see myself as a South African. Many colored people, many black people, many white people see themselves as South Africans trying to make a difference. Now, if you want to perpetuate me and say I am in between, screw you, I'm not in between. I am making a difference wherever I am. And so we must just be clear on these things. Let us not be modeled by what other people say. Be modeled by what you do.
I get what you're saying. It's just
look at you. Look at you.
Okay.
You're a colored guy. You have a successful business. You're not sandwiched in between. You pushing, you probing, you making sure you can make a difference for your family one day.
Yeah, look, it's also hard work. At the end of the day,
Precisely.
not everyone's got access to education and to work experience, all those things. It's a combination of things that brought me to this point. Understand? Obviously, hard work and a lot of other things. Not all colored people, specific colored people, have access to same resources, education, and opportunities. Talking about opportunities, we're talking about BEE as an example.
Yeah.
I mean, when we're talking about housing, we're talking about RDP houses. Colored people are on the back foot. At the end of the day, if you look at now what happened in Hangberg, in Houtbay, versus what happened in Kailitsa, I mean, what happened there? You tell me what happened there.
Look, I think the first thing that's important is the mayor, me, myself, and everyone.
Mayor Dan Plato.
Mayor Dan Plato.
Dan Pluto.
Plato, my friend.
Okay, sorry, I got it wrong.
He's on Plato, he's not on Pluto, he's on Plato, yeah. He's op 'n plaat by ons.
Plato.
But the fact of that, we've all condemned their actions and we've said that the actions of law enforcement officers on the day, as what we see, is completely unacceptable.
But law enforcement report to you guys, the Democratic Alliance, eh?
No.
No.
The law enforcement reports to the city of Cape Town, and they have an administrative line in which they report to. It is that very same administrative line that we have now tasked to investigate this full matter. The fact of the matter is, though, Selwyn, if you have a piece of land, buddy, and tomorrow you come past and someone's built a shack on your land, but you were actually going to build houses for poor people on that land. How are you going to feel, bruh? Now, I'm not justifying the action, but I'm not justifying the reaction of officers. What I am saying is that the action of people just land grabbing shows the greater problem that the ANC is creating in this
But
country.
Angus, the officers follow instructions. Those instructions came from where? From who?
That we need to investigate.
Why do you want to investigate when you guys are in control of the situation?
No, my friend, that's called accountability. Doesn't matter whether you're in government, you're still accountable to the people. And the people expect us to get to the bottom of something, then we must ensure that we use independent
What
sources.
people,
to get
Angus?
to
Who are the people?
These are the people here, my
Okay,
friend.
these are the people, understand, with the sex coming up, right? Those people need housing, right?
Yeah.
The issue on social media, and this thing is obviously getting out of control, is where colored people feel that a lot of people from the Eastern Cape migrate to the Western Cape. They are getting RDP houses, some of them. This is what I read on social media, and you also obviously read the same thing.
Yeah.
It's about, you said we're all South Africans, and I agree with that. I'm a proud South African, but I'm also a proud colored. We are not, I mean, I don't know how you see yourself. Are you colored or are you, what are you?
I'm a born and bred coloured individual in South Africa. Actually, you know what? I'm Scottish coloured.
Scottish
With my
coloured,
surname
okay.
Mckenzie, I'm Scottish coloured.
Okay, all right, with a surname, right? Now, in terms of colored people, talking about the Khoisan, talking about all these, there's so many pockets of what we perceive as colored and what black people perceive as colored. At the end of the day, they say we are not colored, we are black. When it comes to BEE, when it comes to getting the job, you're not black, you're actually colored. So what are we really? From a government perspective, from a politician, what would you say? Colored, black, mixed race? What do you suggest?
Look, I think
What do you think?
I think that's the failure of BEE. And here's the reality in the failure of BEE. Certain people became extremely rich overnight. What we are asking for and what I support, it has to be a broad-based black economic empowerment. It cannot just be classified just for one type of black person. Because here's the deal, bruh. Why is it that Kailicha's black people are suffering in poverty, but the other black person, his name is Cyril, has got a house in Fresno, worth more than the land in Kailicha. Now, so it has to be broad-based. It cannot just be identified just for a niche clique of people. Only you can get BEE deals. Now, back to the point that you made earlier, and back to my point. If you work hard, you're going to achieve, my friend. Nothing is going to stop you from achieving what you ought to achieve if you work hard. Now, in the lack of opportunities hasn't stopped people from trying.
Yeah.
Look at you're a classic example of it. Our families are classic examples of it.
Yeah, but we're not talking about us now. We're talking about the people in Bonteheuwel, the people in Mitchells Plain, the people on the Cape Flats, the people in Clark Estate, Menenberg, all those places, right? We're talking about drug dealers. We're talking about gangsterism. What are you guys doing to solve all this killing, the murdering? More people got killed last year, through gangsterism and murdering in this country, versus where we stand right at this point with COVID-19. Yet the economy was closed down for COVID-19,
Yeah.
and yet here we are.
Yeah, but
People are still getting killed. I mean, what do you guys? How do you guys go about solving the problem? Will you ever solve the problem?
And then you have the government release 19,000 prisoners back into the townships. And then they tell you some rubbish story. No, it's people that had these soft crimes, not issue crimes. But I'll show you messages on my phone how gangsters are back on the street.
I don't want to see the messages. I want to go to court. But at the end of the day, I want to know, what is the DA doing about all this crime? What are they doing? Do they have proper solutions? Even as almost all guns hit, the youngsters want to shoot guns. Why didn't you send them to the army like back in the day when you're done with matric, you go to the army? Because then
Yeah, but here's the deal, my friend. In the townships, our children aren't reaching matric.
Okay.
You come to Bonteheuwel. Can I tell you what the retention rate in Bonteheuwel from grade 1 to grade 12 is?
Okay, tell me.
0.02% of kids that start school in grade 1 and 12 years later in grade 12. That's quite scary, bruh.
Okay, so how do you guys solve the problem?
So-
If you can't solve the problem, then we have to agree that politicians can't solve these problems in the country.
Okay,
isn't it?
so let's look at what we've done in Bonteheuwel in the last 2 or 3 years. I think there's an example of solving a problem.
Okay.
Crime is an issue in Bonteheuwel. What did we do? We realized that the national government through their police aren't going to sort out the problem. What we do, we bring 100 law enforcement into Bonteville. We cut crime by over 50% in 2 years by gang-related crime. We cut it in about 50%. We create 1,000 job opportunities for people in Bonteville. In 3 years, we create 1,000. That's a job that someone never had. That's a salary he can take home to look after his family, and it's experience that he's gained. Right? You need to ensure, brother, that you're looking at the issue and you're not grouping issues together and you're tackling it one by one. We are in a social dysfunctional state at the moment. You can't have social interventions in a time of war. There on the Cape Flats here, my friend, you're having war.
It's war.
So if the police, here's the deal. My officers, not my officers, the law enforcement officers arrest in
Your
Bonteville
officers, yes. So
between 30 and 40 guys a month.
100%.
But you know what? Only 3% of those arrests are ever prosecuted.
I get it, yeah. So why do we have that discrepancy? But you said your officers, right? Let's go back to
I said law enforcement officers.
Yeah, but then you said law enforcement. Now you guys riding around with a ride along with the law enforcement. JP Smith.
Yeah.
What do you think should happen with JP Smith? And how we handle the situation over and over.
Which situation?
Now with people being there in Kailitsa, that situation, the one in Hangberg.
JP Smith, if JP Smith is someone that I've known not to sit in an ivory tower. He gets his hands dirty. And quite frankly, I've learned a lot from JP Smith. You don't sit behind a desk and fight crime. You don't sit behind a desk and stop illegal occupation of land. You get out there and you engage with people and you talk to people and you get the information that you need and you pass that information on to authorities. And that's what JP Smith did. They found out that there was illegal occupation of land and all he did was pass that information on to authorities.
Okay. So JP Smith is basically pimp. Okay. Snitch. Is that how it works?
No, it's not about pimping. Because you see, there are thousands of people that send me messages on a daily basis to say, Councillor, this gangster is walking down the street, this gangster did this last night. Now, if I don't rat on that, if I don't take that information and make sure that we rat on that gangster, that gangster is going to continue doing the wrong thing.
I get it, yeah. Alan Windy.
Yeah.
Who is a dieriewan? Alan Windy is the premier. Then Pluto is the...
Plato.
Okay. Do you think we'll ever...
Pluto is there, my friend. Plato is here.
You must send him to Mars. But do you think...
Stan Master.
Stan Mars is there?
Stan Mars is
yeah,
there.
He's cool. But check it, do you think Dan Plato is up for the job? If you listen to that interview you had with a lady from SABC, we basically just tried to get out. I mean, he couldn't handle that interview. Clearly, he couldn't, right? Do you think he's?
Let me tell you, if you know what the state of the city was 2.5 years ago, or 2 years ago, since Dan came in, then you actually realize what a brilliant job Dan has done in the city.
Yeah, but let's talk about Blikkisdorp.
What about Blikkisdorp?
Didn't they move the people to Blikkisdorp temporarily now? The people are still there. Crime is, people are getting killed there.
When last have you been to Blikkisdorp?
I drive past it. I don't want to go in there.
Why don't you?
I had a guy that worked for us that lived there.
Yeah.
And they had to lie on the ground at night when the guys shoot through those singplat hokkies.
Yeah, but is that not happening in all these areas?
I suppose, but Blikkisdorp was created
as a TRA, a temporary relocation.
But it's still there.
Yeah, but it's a temporary relocation. For instance, you go to Blikkisdorp now, while we sort out land that is being occupied by illegal occupiers to build a house for you. So eventually we get those illegal occupiers, if we build the houses, you go to the house, the next group of people come into Blikkisdorp.
I hear you, but Angus, listen, just recently now when the lockdown started, they moved the homeless people to under the bridge and then to, what is it, Mr. Splain, Mr. Splain, right? Strandfontein, the tent terrasso.
Yeah.
And then that didn't work out.
Those luxury tents.
Yeah, the luxury ones, yeah. The lady got raped there, but
hold on, that's a horrid allegation. Is that true?
I mean, you can tell me.
I don't know. We need to check with SAPS.
You gonna take that?
No, hold on, I want to. Yeah, no, it's okay. No, we need to check with SAPS if there was ever a rape charge or anything. I
Okay.
don't know. That's what I'm saying.
What I'm saying to you is all these, speculations, allegations, all these things you see on social media. What do you think or suggest? Do you think you guys are doing a better job than the ANC? Do you think you guys, as politicians, as political parties, can solve these problems for the people of South Africa? You guys must remember, right? We do all the work. And we are the voters. You guys are put on pedestals, or you put yourself on pedestals. At SONA 2020 even, you see it every year. You guys go out there, you roll out red carpets. The actors, the singers, the comedians of South Africa, they don't rise up. Because the politicians, they are in charge. They wait for the people, for the camera. They appear more important than the people of South Africa, and people don't have food. I mean, you guys are distributing food parcels, all these things, right? But people don't have food, people don't have jobs. Yet these guys are sitting behind their big walls, with luxury cars.
And that brings me to the point of Dan Plato, and even myself, because I've been in the field for these today's 100 days of lockdown. I've been in the field every day for 100 days in my ward, securing food relief, support and help. The mayor, bro, I haven't even seen the mayor, because every day the mayor is busy in a different area. Now, if we can do it for our people and for the people of Cape Town, and you see the lack of it happening in other cities and other provinces, then the question you ask mustn't be asked to a DA politician, my friend. Because in actual fact, DA politicians are doing the work on the ground. It must be asked to those MPs that you don't even know exist, man, that sit and sleep in Parliament with those big fancy hats with the different colours on. They look good for TV, but that's where their goodness ends.
Do you think, you're talking about Dan Plato, do you think Antipet did a better job than Dan Plato in the same role?
Dan Plato will never build a barbed wire fence that's going to cost the ratepayers 40 billion or million rand.
Yeah, but who approved the tender?
Who's the Minister of Public Works?
Yeah, but then. Oh yeah, you're talking about there by the...
Yeah, a draadmeer.
Do you think Antipet's got it more difficult now within the ANC, or...?
No, I think she probably feels at home.
Is it? You think so?
Yeah, no, Sean will tell us. But I think she probably feels at home.
Why do you bring Sean into the equation? Sean also resigned with Antipet, and that was obviously because of the racism allegations.
But here's the deal, I know many more people in good that are good enough to sit in Parliament, maar Sean sit daar. Waarom je ook eens een Sean daar? Waar is Sia? Waar is Tulani Stemele? Waar is Suzette Little? Waar is die mense? Hoe is it net Sean and Brett?
I don't know if this is a colour thing again, because you're not sitting in Parliament and Sean is sitting in Parliament.
I don't want it. I'm quite happy representing the people of Bondeville. I'm very happy.
Where to from here, Angus? Are you going to always work as a councillor?
Look, I love local politics, because local politics is the cold face of politics. It's people don't care who the MP or the Member of Parliament is. People want to see change, and I love being on the ground, dirtying these hands, getting them
eating
dirty.
out of pots.
Apparently becoming a law enforcement officer as well. But you know what, my friend? We always can lag oor die goed. The reality is that our people need leadership, man. And I will stand up and be that leader for my people. That's just the reality of it.
In which capacity now?
My friend, in every capacity.
But now, all the videos and all the posts you make on social media, the work that you do, why doesn't that perpetuate to the other councillors? For example, Zafta in the Biala, and there's other councillors in Elsies River. Apparently they are doing their thing.
Yeah.
I just don't see it. I mean, if I look around me, I don't see it.
Look, I think each ward is one different, and each ward councillor runs his ward in a different way. I'm big on communications. Other people may be big on something else. I don't think you should ever find yourself in a position to compare ward councillors. What you maybe should do is compare the ward councillor to his opposing candidates in the ward, and what the opposing candidates do versus that ward councillor in that specific ward. Like, for an example, I thought about it this morning while I was in the shower.
In the shower.
The ANC or any of these other parties were nowhere to be found in Bondeville.
You have a shower. En die pet, dan looks van die water hoor.
Nou, die pet het 'n blou meter by my insit. Sy kry net 350 liters of water.
Oh, die groot huis.
Ja.
But Engels, tell me those people that lives in the sex don't have access to water, electricity, and food.
Ja.
I mean, will things ever get better for the people of South Africa, especially for the poor people?
There are two ways things are going to get better for people. The first thing is, the first problem is I don't think people realize the dire situation our country is in right now. Yes, we have people dying of COVID. I think we're on to 2,500, 3,000 people, near to 3,000 people. But how many people have lost their jobs
100%.
in this situation? So I do and I strongly criticize the way the government has handled the opening up of the economy again during this COVID period. So there's the first problem. So if you think things are bad now, things are going to get worse. But if you look at what we've done in the Western Cape, we have the lowest unemployment in the Western Cape than any other province. We have more foreign direct investment into this province and into the city than any other city and province in the country. That beats Gauteng and Joburg. Clearly, investors and foreign investors like what they see in this province. That's why they're here. And when these foreign investors come, it creates job opportunities for our people. That's why I've been able to create 1,000 jobs in 1,000 days. Because we are doing something right in the area, we are doing something right in the province. Now, if the national government don't want to see that, if the ANC don't want to see that, then they must be held responsible for the fact that thousands of people are coming from the Eastern Cape, from the Northern Cape, from the Orange Free State, from all over. They are coming to the Western Cape for opportunities because the opportunities present themselves here. But these people must realize one thing. They are not going to leapfrog people that's been on the housing waiting list for 20, 30 years.
But it happens.
It's not happening.
It's happening.
It's not happening, and I can tell you what's not happening. I've got a housing project happening in Bonteheuwel now that I must tell you.
But you're speaking for Bonteheuwel, you're not speaking for Piala and all the other areas.
No, then you must go talk to the good councils of that area. Dan moet jy 'n bietjie gaan stap en vra.
I'll speak to Jafta.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is in Bonteheuwel I've got a housing project now. We're building 400 houses. Of that 400
Is that houses going to be free for the poor, or must they pay?
No, it's breaking new ground houses. It's free houses basically. So they're going to pay. They pay for water and electricity and that.
But they don't pay rental.
No,
Do they get a happy letter, or do they wait for it? Is it on their name, or you guys as law enforcement still have the right om my deur af te trap and go in there and search that place without what do you call it, a warrant?
If there's no just cause to search something, why are you searching something?
100%, but what I'm asking you is, you give a person a house,
Yeah.
right? You still have control over that house. What you guys need to do is to give people homes. When you give a person a home,
Yeah.
right, inevitably there's pride that goes with it. You uplift that person, but when you restrict that person, because we've got family that also got houses, right?
Yeah.
And we had a battle with putting up fire brigades because that person got a car, but you have a car, how can you get an RTP house? You inherited stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But how do you uplift the person's character and morale and spirit if you give him something but it's not there?
Yeah.
And now you have to wait for a happy letter, you have to wait for 4 years until you can do this or that to the property. But yet there are foreign nationals that's got tuck shops down the road and they carrying on, I mean, as if it's their house. How does that happen?
Yeah, look, so I think, I mean, the ownership of property is it's one of the first steps for many families to break free from the shackles of poverty, right? And so let's talk about Bonteheuwel again. Over 3,000 houses have been transferred to people in their names in Bonteheuwel. 3,000 people now have the ability to put a deposit down for their children's future. 3,000 people have the opportunity now to use their homes as collaterals for things that they ordinarily wouldn't have done before. So
Was that JP Smith that phoned you now?
let's just check now. It's a WhatsApp call from 062 122 1102.
So tell me, what is JP Smith? What does the P in JP Smith stands for? Guys, Angus Mckenzie, was nice chatting you on top, guys.